Voss, Ms. Microspace speech. We have room for but one language in this country, and that is the English language. For we intend to see that the crucible turns our people out as Americans of American nationality, and not as dwellers in a polyglot boarding house. This quote was stated by Theodore Roosevelt in 1919. He believed if you were an American, you must speak English. Nearly 100 years later, and nothing has been changed. I agree with Theodore Roosevelt, and I believe all Americans should speak English. My three main points are: English was used in American founding documents, English was the official language in foreign countries, and English would make life easier for immigrants. It doesn't take a genius to recognize that English has been used in America since the day it started. First, English was used in American founding documents. According to the website, the Charters of Freedom, Declaration of Independence, the National Archives of Records Administration found that America is questionably the best country in the world, and it has a long history, dating back to July 4th, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed. The document officially declares our independence from England and was the birth of America. It was written and signed in English. This is one of the most important documents to our country, and if everyone who wrote and signed it was in English, shouldn't that be a sign of English's importance in America? According to the English Language Political Action Committee, which was created 30 years ago to guard the English language, John Adams in 1780 wrote to Congress that Americans should force their language into general use. Congress had been reluctant to declare English as their official language because they had just broken away from England. Although in 1781, the Articles of Confederation was written and ratified in English, and the articles included the Bill of Rights. These were the first 10 laws of America. Later, they turned into amendments and more added, but they were all in English. I argue that my first main point, that English was used in American founding documents. All presidents, people who run our country, and people who founded our country spoke English. I can't help but stress the importance of English language to America. Even if our country's history is all in English, we fail to make Americans speak English. Although today, many foreign countries have established English as their official language. Second, English is the official language in foreign countries. According to the nation's leading English advocates, reviewed by the Director of Government Relations, he found, although English did not originate in America, it has been used for centuries. Today, in over 65 countries have adopted English as their national language. These countries from all over the globe have thrown out their native language to accept English. Some of these countries have no history with English at all, but yet they see English as an important language to accept. And America has a very strong history with English. And if these countries are willing to make English their official language, when did you think America should be able to too? I recently visited Jamaica, and I was surprised to find out that they spoke English there and English was their official language. I figured I'd have a language barrier that would complicate things on vacation, but I ended up being able to understand everyone because they all spoke English, and my vacation was a lot more relaxed without that language barrier. And comparing it to other vacations such as Florida, where you have Hispanics and Mexicans and Asian-speaking people, I was able to understand a lot more people in Jamaica than when I was in like Florida. And when you don't have that language barrier, it's a lot less stressful and you can enjoy life more. I argued in my second main point that English is the official language in foreign countries. Foreign countries have realized the clarity in having English as their main language. Now, I wish that America could realize the benefits and simplicity if everyone spoke English. Third, English would make life easier for immigrants. According to the English Inc., U.S. English Inc., which is the largest and oldest nations preserving English group, was started by Senator S.I. Hayakawa, who happened to be an immigrant. He himself pushes for English to be the official language because he believes that English is the single most important thing that immigrants need to succeed. Language barriers are tough, and being able to communicate in the same language will widen opportunities for immigrants. Bilingualism for the individual is fine, but not for a country, says Hayakawa. This was a quote from him when he tried to pass the English-only amendment. The amendment failed, but his group still pushes for all Americans to speak English today because it would make life easier and more adaptable for immigrants. According to the nation's leading English advocates, reviewed by the Director of English Relations, majority of government documents are in English. They do not have to be provided in other languages, plus government has to communicate or act in the English language. Most laws are written in English, and they are expected to follow the laws. How can they follow the laws if they're not able to read or speak them? The U.S. Department of Labor saw that immigrants were able to learn English faster when they were surrounded by English speakers, and immigrants were also able to have higher paying jobs. According to the National Safety Council, an article titled "Immigrants Workers Face Educational Economic Challenges" explained that the actual difficulties immigrants have to face. As I mentioned before, immigrants have higher paying jobs if they are able to speak English and communicate. And the article states that the 2/3 of the lower wages for immigrants is because they cannot speak profound English and they lack education. Immigrants come to America for better lives, but if they are getting low paying jobs because they can't speak the language, wouldn't they benefit by speaking English? I argued my third main point, which is that English would make life easier for immigrants. Life would be easier for America, for immigrants, and ourselves if we all spoke the same language. That is why I believe that all Americans should speak English. America only takes one kind of money, the US dollar. So why do we allow for 300 languages to be spoken and growing in this country? America is known for being the melting pot, but what does being an American mean to you? To me, it means being able to understand, appreciate, and respect the history enough to speak the language that started this country. America has not declared an official language, but it doesn't mean certain states haven't. Over half the states have declared English as their official language, and this creates a rising debate on why America hasn't as a country. If it takes declaring English as the official language for everyone to speak English, then that's what our country should do. English has been the main language in America for a long time, and if they are wanting to be part of this country, then all Americans should speak English. So in recap, English should be used in American founding documents. English is the official language in foreign countries, and English would make life easier for immigrants. Thank you for listening.